Nice. How you doing, brother? Good morning.
Ready to go.
All right, let me get set up real quick.
You got some new toys to play with today.
We do.
Yeah, we have a little game that we can play. Now the listeners can play this little game. And we'll wait till about maybe the 15-20 minute mark when everybody's here, and then I'll let them know how they can have some fun with it. We got the stores open now, the merch store.
Nice.
So that's ready to go. JHNSB, no Diddy. And we are streaming live. We have live streaming audio on the website, Alamo City Network.com. So for those who maybe just can't watch, they're busy at work, you go to the website and just listen to the live replay, or the live show as it's going, should I say.
That's a very good point.
Hey, what's up? Good morning, Seth. It says, good morning, Vietnam.
That's right, baby. That's right. Have a good show today.
Welcome to another episode of the Alamo City Sportscast with Mike Jimenez and Joe Garcia. Make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. Join the discussion as we broadcast live from beautiful West San Antonio. And remember to tip your hosts as it helps the show grow.
What's up, San Antonio? What's up, South Texas? This is the Alamo City Sportscast coming at you from the west side of San Antonio, West Bexar County, also represented. My name's Mike Jimenez. That is Joe Garcia. We're going to be on for about an hour and a half or so. We're going to have fun talking sports, pop culture, and nostalgia. And Joe woke up this morning. Guess what? We are 931 subscribers strong.
I see that.
931. Now, I got to share something with you, Joe.
Yeah.
On the YouTube stream yesterday. Now, we are live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, right? And you can take part of the show by leaving a comment on YouTube. But we got one yesterday onto the YouTube channel, right? So they left a comment.
Mm-hmm.
And it's by a guy named William Johnson, and I want to share it.
All right, go ahead.
He says, "Hi, fellas. Love the show. I subscribed a few days ago. Born and raised in San Antonio. You guys remind me of so many of my friends that I used to just hang out and talk about sports with for hours. Lots of fun. Keep up the good work." William, welcome to the party, my man. Welcome to the party. And you know what? Do us a favor. Share it with your friends. Tell your friends, your loved ones, your coworkers that we're doing this show because, again, we're making that march to 1,000. Joe, you mentioned something yesterday that I had never thought of, and I went back home and I actually researched it. You said something to the effect of less than 10% of YouTube channels ever hit 1,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
And I looked it up, and you're right. It's like 8.6.
Yeah, a lot of YouTubers will bow out before they ever hit 1,000 because it's so hard to break 1,000.
Yeah.
And once you get past 1,000, it gets a little bit easier because the algorithm will put you in front of more eyes. But then when your next hurdle is getting to 3,000.
Right.
And then from that point on, sky's the limit.
I think it said 8.6% chance of getting, or 8.6% ever make it to 1,000.
Yeah.
And it's like less than 4% ever make it to 5. And that's the thing, is that we are now seeing this wave of momentum when it comes to this show, when it comes to the number of subscribers that we have. We have William who joined us. He probably didn't even know that we existed 3 or 4 weeks ago. Maybe he listened to the old show back in the day on SportsStar. But this is the thing. And I was watching a YouTube video yesterday from this quote-unquote expert on how to get subscribers. Now, we don't want to get just subscribers. We don't care if somebody's subscribing someplace. We want subscribers who are going to watch.
Interact with us.
Right.
Yeah.
And it said that it's all about consistency. We mentioned that yesterday. It's all about consistency online and making sure that we're doing what we're doing. We've been doing the show Monday through Friday since January 1.
Yeah, we have.
And 931 subscribers strong. We were talking about getting to 1,000 by the end of July. Dude, at this pace, it might be by mid-July.
We might pick up some more when we go over there to Pete's place tomorrow.
That's right. So tomorrow we have our NBA draft party, our Spurs watch party over at Pete's place. That is in Old Town Helotes. So if you know where Flores Country Store is, just keep going.
Yeah.
Just keep going outside the loop about half a mile, and you will find it. On my Twitter account, I did post video, by the way, of what it looks like inside the place for those of you who are not familiar with Pete's place.
Oh, and then we do have the audio working today.
Okay, good. So Pete's place is a great place, man. Now, this was Tuesday when it was happening. We're going to be partying out there.
I love the picture, the view of the girls
Yeah,
walking.
it's like I timed it perfectly, right? But outside, you see that big screen over there that I'm pointing at? That big screen over there, that's where we have the tables. We have enough for about 25 people. But I tell you what, if there are 40 or 50 people who want to show up, if there's 100 people who want to show up, we will make room and we will get room because Pete's Place is saying, hey, we're down with the Alamo City Sportscast.
Yeah. Who doesn't want to have business, you know?
Exactly.
I mean, we're bringing the traffic over to them. They're going to welcome it.
I know. We did a thing at Mad Pecker's Brewery for the fantasy draft.
Oh, yeah, with Brandon.
About 40 people there, 30, 40 people there.
Yeah, we got to hang out with all the gente.
We can bring a party. And that was when we had only 200 or 300 subscribers when we were first starting. And then we went on hiatus for 3 or 4 months because of my personal issues. And then we came back in January, and now we're getting to it. Getting to 1,000 so hard.
It is. Really hard.
But they always say getting to $1 million, your first $1 million made, is the hardest, but getting to the second million is easy. Getting to a second 1,000, I think, will be easier than getting the first 1,000.
Yeah,
it really is. But we have the love. I was watching this morning in the building, Mike Taylor.
Rudy J. Yeah.
Subscribe to them. They get going at 9 a.m.
Yeah, definitely.
And that was a good show. They go from 9 to 10. Then they do their pay-per-view, if you will, their subscription.
Yeah, the second hour.
The subscription hour. And that's their thing. And, we come on at 10 o'clock. We go to about 11:30 or so. And I'm not really going to bang the doors for more sponsors until we get to 1,000.
Yeah.
And when we get there, we can make the claim that, hey, only 1 out of 12 YouTube channels get to 1,000, and we're one of them. I didn't
make the numbers up. That's what the statistics tell you. Mm-hmm. But one thing that we're going to do as well is we want to give some love to Sweep the League as well. My friends of the show, they're at 89 subscribers. They're almost at 100. So if you're, subscribing to our show, make sure you go and subscribe to their show as well. Give them some love.
So what are we getting into today? By the way, Sweep the League, they do a fantastic job. Rudy Campos Jr. has a fantastic voice, fantastic opinions. I disagree with most of them half the time, but still, it is what it is. NBA draft again is tomorrow. We're going to start partying at 6 o'clock at Pete's Place in Old Town the Lotus. 7 o'clock is the first pick, or that's when the show starts. I would assume the Spurs will have their first pick done by 8 o'clock, assuming that we're holding on to the number 4 pick. And then then you figure that by 9 o'clock, we should have picked our second one as well. So we're excited about that. Again, NBA draft tomorrow, 7 p.m., but we're going to start partying at 6 o'clock over at Pete's Place. Now, it's the calm before the storm, okay? Because I went on all the websites today to see what's going on. Ain't nothing going on, right? There's it's one of those things where, no final mock drafts came out this morning. Nothing came out, but Shams Charania of FanDuel, of The Athletic, blessed us because he had an interview with one of the top lottery picks in this year's draft, and he's calling out Zachary Rees-Sarchet. And I'm going to tell you what he said, and we're going to debate whether or not you want a guy like that on the team, okay? Because this guy has been rumored to be a potential Spur. Do you like what he has to say? Do you like what JJ Redick had to say, by the way? Dropping F-bombs yesterday in his press conference as he's being introduced. When I heard that he was dropping an F-bomb, A, I didn't know that it was to a female reporter. B, I didn't know what the question was. But now that we know the context, is JJ Redick in the wrong when it comes to doing this?
That doesn't paint you in a good light. It's like you're taking this lighthearted. It's not serious to you. Right. Using this type of language, it should matter, and you should give an F because you are now a head coach, and that is not language that is demeaning of a coach. That's not what you expect out of your leader.
Right. And I don't know why he's dropping an F-bomb to this particular question because it wasn't that hard hitting.
No.
It wasn't like it was a question that I would have asked, that you would have asked. I don't know. Yeah. Well, let's talk about that. We'll play that sound. Aggies came close, but no cigar. They lost in the College World Series yesterday, 6-5. We'll talk about that.
They almost had it.
Almost had it. Almost had it, like the guy with the fishing rod. We have to really get into whether or not Hooters is in jeopardy. Yeah. Yesterday, Hooters shut down 6 locations in the state of Texas.
Just as long as they don't close down the one near me, just down the street here.
Is Hooters going to be around 10 years from now?
I don't know. Same thing could be said for Red Lobster.
Dude, Red Lobster, That was tragic. What Red Lobster did and what they said and what actually happened were two completely different things.
Yeah.
Now, Hooters, I'm not saying that they're circling the drain. I'm just saying, if I was Brian Windhorst from ESPN, I'm doing one of these numbers.
I think that's indicative of what goes on with a lot of these national chains, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're franchises and they franchise themselves out. And, what happens is that a lot of these smaller, franchises just don't make it. It could be due to poor management, poor location, whatever it could be, the economy. They just don't make it.
But 6
It happens
in one
man.
day?
It spells trouble.
Where there's smoke, there's fire.
Yeah, what do they say? The underperforming businesses are the ones we close.
Yes,
Isn't that the
exactly.
spew?
That's phase 1 of we're shutting down for good.
We're broke. We're filing for bankruptcy.
In music news, we lost a pop singer yesterday. I don't know if it's a pop singer, a punk singer, what do you want to call him? But he was the singer of a very popular song that's considered to be one of the worst songs of the last 25 years. Should we celebrate the life of one of the worst song singers of all time? But anyway, he passed away. We'll get into that.
Are you talking about who I think you're talking about? Because I saw him on, was it TMZ this morning?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think so.
And Foo Fighters, Dave Grohl, is he really trying to start beef with Taylor Swift? Is this the right thing to do? Because he's calling out Taylor Swift, basically calling her fake, a poser. You're not actually singing up there. What is Dave Grohl doing? He knows her personally. What is he doing? Is this just shtick?
I think he's just poking fun because they are friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll get into a lot of pop culture. Again, we do sports, pop culture, and nostalgia here. Again, you can be part of the show by taking part in our YouTube stream. A lot of people coming out saying, Mario Cavasso saying, heard that Mike is having the Chevy Girls as special guests at Pete's place tomorrow. Dude, that would be incredible.
If only we could afford them.
If only we could.
Can you imagine? That place would be packed, bro. You couldn't even get in.
Dude, and there's other car dealerships that are trying to follow suit, and some of them with not as attractive models doing this, and it's comical.
You know what's funny though?
Is.
It doesn't. I mean, it matters the way you look, but what matters more is just the production value. And like the Chevy, Camino Real girls, the Chevy girls.
Yeah,
they're not only good looking, but the social media team behind them, they are great as far as their edits. It's perfect.
It's the edits, it's the music behind
the comedy.
The comedy. Dude, they have comedy chops. All three of them have comedy chops.
I mean, even if they weren't as good looking as they were, everything else would kind of make up for it.
I mean, it's part of it.
It's part of it.
It's part of
it. Of course, it's part of it. But I'm just saying, like, if somebody else wants to kind of follow what they're doing, you just have to be good with the editing skills.
So do we have to say that we are sports, pop culture, and the Camino Real fan club?
Camino Real. Mike's going to start the Camino Real fan club.
Yeah, so William, if you are new to the show and have no idea who the Camino Real girls are, just real quick on my screen are the Camino Real girls from just outside of Los Angeles, California. They do all their commercials.
I'm not saying that they're doing it based on their looks alone, but it does help.
100,000 subscribers now.
There's what do you call
on
Thicky?
Instagram? That's Thicky. That's Ann Valen. And that's Jess.
Is that the superstar?
And then Sophie's the tall girl.
Who's the superstar of this crew?
Oh, it's Jess. It's Jess, but I think what ends up happening is that more and more as Thicky comes to be part of the show, I think she's getting a cult following. But Jess by far is the leader of the group. Jess is the queen bee of it all. And we love me some Chevy girls. And again, the production value of what they do over there is so fantastic. That's the queen bee right there. So, William, if you're new to the show, again, Camino Real Chevy. They're not a sponsor, but we talk about them all the time. I swear the next time I'm in California, I'm going to go visit just to see if Jess is there or Thicky.
You're going to call her Thicky when you see her? I doubt it.
Let's get into today's show because, again, the NBA draft is tomorrow. And, it's the calm before the storm. You would think no big waves are going to be made. But Shams Charania of The Athletic, also a FanDuel, he's going to be working overtime tomorrow, right? And Woj dropping the Woj bombs.
Going toe-to-toe.
And the Sham bombs, right?
Who has more phones?
I think they have like 5 each.
They bring them a tray. Here you go, sir.
So if you can check this out on my screen here, this is on FanDuel. They had an interview with Matas Buzelis, who's considered to be a top 10 candidate for tomorrow's draft. Some mocks have him going number 4 to the Spurs. Played for the G League Ignite. And what I found interesting about this interview, and I'm going to mute this. What I found interesting about this interview is that it was a nice casual interview for about 4 or 5 minutes. And then Buzella started dropping bombs down the stretch.
Went off the rails.
He went off the rails a little bit. He was trying to be professional about it.
Bro, comb your hair, man.
Buzella, 6'9", 6'10", small forward, G League Ignite last year, averaged like 13 points per game last year, like 7 rebounds. The guy is considered to be a slasher, all of that stuff, right? And they asked him about other people in the draft. And they said, what about Zachary Reese-Sarchet? What do you think about Reese-Sarchet? He's the same position as you. He's a 3, you're a 3. And he goes, that guy doesn't want anything to do with me.
Oh, God.
Now, back in March, he said that he wanted to play Reese-Sarchet one-on-one in front of the scouts.
Yeah.
In front of the teams. Remember, last week, or a couple of weeks ago, back at the Rock at La Cantera, the Spurs had Stephon Castle and Devin Carter go one-on-one against each other, work out with each other. We talked about how that was different, right? Buzelis was saying he wanted the exact same thing with Reese-Sarchet, but he basically says Reese-Sarchet did not want anything to do with him. Buzelis calling him out, saying, hey, look, we've got another 24 hours before the draft. Let's do a workout together. Let's go one-on-one.
That would have helped both of their stocks, you know?
Well, I mean, assuming they both did well, but if Reese-Sarchet kind of bottomed out. Now, it's funny because the comments you see on the thread from Shams Charania is like, dude, that's a lot of big talk for a guy who shot 27% from 3. But let me ask you this, Joe. He has been mocked to the Spurs at 4 or at 8. That if he's available at 8, the Spurs would definitely get him. If he's at 4, the possibility. Right?
I don't know if I'd mind that, dude. It sounds like he stuck a little trash. He's got a little dog in him. That's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing.
Got a dog in him.
Yeah.
But I found it to be funny that he's just there going, yeah, he didn't want anything to do with me. He doesn't want anything to do with me. He goes, I'm ready to go. He was talking up his boy Ron Holland because Ron Holland also played for the G League Ignite. But I found it funny that Matas Buzelis, 24 hours before the draft, would come out and just basically say, look, man, I'd like to challenge you on a one-on-one. You turned me down back in March. You turned me down in April.
Big time me.
You're big timing me. What are you afraid of? What are you and your 25-inch vertical jump afraid of?
I love this comment by Sam Salinas. What's with the Euro, Edgar? You look at his haircut, bro.
But let me know. Morvi says, Matas reminds me of Luka Samanic, and I wouldn't doubt it. Now, it's funny because people are asking, well, what is the player comparison of Matas Buzelis, right? And it's funny because you see all like the Ringer, right, has their NBA draft guide, right?
Yeah.
And he is so bullish on himself, man. He's like, people say that I'm this and I'm that. To be honest with you, I'm the next Paul George.
Oh, God.
He said Paul George's name. He goes, I'm Paul George. I'm a little bit of this. I'm a little bit of that. Now I'm going on to the Ringer, by the way, who has Buzelis, by the way, as their 3rd best prospect. So according to Kevin O'Connor of The Athletic, he says Franz Wagner, Lamar Odom. Buzelis says I'm a mix of Franz Wagner and bigger players, Paul George.
Okay.
See, he's referencing Paul George. He even referenced Andre Kirilenko back in the day.
No.
So I found it to be funny. Again, the draft is tomorrow night. The Spurs pick it at number 4 and number 8. The question is going to be what happens at number 3, because it looks like Reese-Sarchet is going number 1 to Atlanta, assuming Atlanta holds on to the spot. It looks like number 2, Washington's going with Alex Sarr, assuming that they hold on to the spot, and Reed Shepherd at 3. But Houston, reportedly, all the reports out there are saying Houston wants to move down.
Houston's going to mess it up for everybody.
And that the Spurs would be there looking at either Stephon Castle or Reed Shepherd. And I can understand both aspects.
Or maybe Reese-Sarchet doesn't go number 1. What if he drops down?
Yeah.
You know?
What if it's a Reed Shepherd, Matas Buzelis? What if Buzelis somehow drops to 8?
True enough. And what you're seeing up in the upper right-hand corner here, that's just us giving some love to our supporters that have given love to us, man.
Oh, yeah. Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs and Ken's 5. He's going to have himself a hell of a day tomorrow. It's a busy day. Now, is he going to make his way out to the Rock? That's what I want to know.
Jeff is actually going to be on our show tomorrow.
Oh, very cool. Yeah, last minute.
Going to give us a couple minutes before he has to start his busy day. So I'm gonna get with him again, make sure that his schedule is still open.
He does have a story, by the way, if you want to check out my screen real quick.
Sure.
Of former Spur George Hill still being active in the San Antonio community. You can go to kens5.com and check out the story about how former Spurs guard George Hill, hosting a basketball camp in San Antonio, says that he's eager to meet all the young athletes in San Antonio who want to attend his camp. You can find out more about it and when it's going to be at kens5.com, or you can go on to Twitter or Threads and look up Jeff Garcia at Jeff G Spurs Zone. Don't forget to follow Locked On Spurs. I do on Spotify and on YouTube as well. But it's going to be a big day tomorrow. And I'm so excited about the party. Wouldn't it be funny if we show up at the party and the Spurs trade their picks?
And we get number one.
And we get number one. Or we get DeJounte back. Or we get Trae Young. Wouldn't that be great? Think about the celebration that we're going to have tomorrow. Or I'm seeing some reports right now say that the Spurs want to keep their pick at 4, get Reed Shepherd or Stephon Castle, and then trade back down at 8. Maybe go from 8 to 15, 8 to 14. Then we're going to have a long night over there waiting for that pick to come around, because if they pick up another first rounder in a future year, or they get a swap in a future year. If who they like around 14 or 8 through 14 is all the same to them.
To me, it would be a busted night if that happens, only because this isn't a strong draft, right? So the talent is kind of thin already out the gate. Now, you want to have a win now mentality. I know next year's draft is a lot better as far as the plethora of talent that you have to choose from, because you have some prospects there that could actually be franchise changers for you, pairing them alongside, or one of them alongside Wemby. But Spurs fans are impatient. They don't want to wait.
Now, Reece Archie is going number 1 overall, according to Yahoo Sports. They dropped their final mock draft this morning. So I'm taking a look. They just dropped one. Reece Archie at number 1. They believe Sarr at 2. They believe if Houston keeps their pick, that they'll go after a Reed Shepherd at 3, and that the Spurs would be going after Stephon Castle at 4. They have Klingon going 5. By the way, the odds of Klingon, going number 1 overall, have dropped to plus 250.
Wow.
That's 2.5 to 1 odds. It's weird because if you take a look at what's going on, Jonathan Givony of ESPN was talking about the fact that Klingon will either go 1 or like 7, because 2 through 6 don't need centers. Houston doesn't need a center. Houston got Sengun.
Yeah.
Spurs don't need a center. We got Wemby.
Yeah, they got Wemby, man.
The only way that we go out and get a Klingon is if we decide to do a Twin Towers type of thing. And
I'm not opposed to that.
And I'm not opposed to it, but Klingon, man, it's funny. He can go number 1 overall. He can drop all the way to 8. You never know.
That's what I was going to say. If he's at 8, if you're the Spurs, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
He's very intriguing.
That's a very tasty pick at 8. Matas Buzelis, according to Yahoo Sports, going number 6, because, of course, he didn't get that one-on-one with Zachary Reece Archie.
Look at Hanover Fist says, if Reece Archie or Sarr falls to us, would be great.
Would be great. And by the way, Hanover Fist, I do appreciate you having the Justin Timberlake mugshot as your avatar. That's amazing. 7, Cody Williams going to Portland, and 8, Spurs going after Tijani Salon. Now, here's the thing. Saloon got hurt in his last workout over here with the Spurs.
Yeah.
Do you know what I thought of when I heard that he rolled his ankle? BS. My BS meter went off. Okay, this is my Brian Windhorse. I think they told him, okay, go with me here.
Yeah.
What if they told him, dude, we got you at 8. Just shut it down. You don't have to work out for teams number 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We got you 8. You're not going to fall below 8. You rolled your ankle.
Yeah.
Why was that my first instinct? That they gave him a promise that they're going to get him at 8 so he doesn't have to worry, because he was going to go work out for Memphis. He was going to work out for Utah. And oddly enough, those are numbers 9 and 10.
Stopped.
Like, dude, just just settle down.
You don't got to go waste your hours flying on a plane, going over there. You could just be at home.
Yeah.
relaxing.
Go do the lazy river at Aquatica.
Yeah.
Go do something.
Yeah, maybe Tony.
Dude, I bet you, if the Spurs draft Saloon at 8, that's what happened.
Maybe he's hanging out at Tony Parker's mansion because nobody's there right now. Go enjoy the water park over there. The water
slide that's over there. Didn't he sell that yet? I don't
know. No, dude, it's still on the market.
Yeah.
It's something like $8 million. I'm sure that if Spurs Twitter pulled together, we could buy that.
hand of a fist saying Sohan gone in 1 year if we get Saloon. Possibly, but I think they're kind of different positions because Salon will play more of a 3 type of position there. Sis coming out saying that maybe they told him to publicize the injury to guarantee that the Spurs pick him up. Again, French connection, or as Spernandez says, the French Foreign Legion.
Yeah.
When you have a Saloon joining Victor Wembanyama.
Look at JHNSB. It says Saloon is absolutely horrible. Most raw player in the draft.
He is raw. He's young, but the talent's there. Again, if you look at the Ringer asked the question, who's going to be the best player in this draft 3 or 4 years from now? Their favorite was Saloon. They were saying he's the guy, not right now. But you don't stash him. You don't send him to Austin.
You play him, man.
You play him, but they're saying 3 years from now, he might get the giddy up. Look at Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard was that guy.
But what position would you play, man?
You have to play him the 3. Got to play him the 3.
So?
Yeah. He's not going to take Sohan's spot at the 4.
No.
He's not. But, again, just bring him up. Let him, because if you're the number 8 overall pick, you're not going to Austin.
Throw him in the fire, man.
You're not going to Austin.
Spurs don't have that luxury no more, man.
As far as players that might fall down in the draft, one of the ones that I found funny, Rob Dillingham, 16 to the Sixers. Right? Imagine if the 76ers got Rob Dillingham.
Dilly.
Nikola Topic fall into number 18 to the Orlando Magic.
That one is tough, man.
Okay, hear me out. Nikola Topic is at 20. Spurs at the 35 pick.
Oh, God.
I'd package picks to move back into the first round to get Topic.
If he's still there, he's still floating around.
Yeah, I don't want to get him at 4 or 8, but if he's floating around at 19 or 20 and he's in the green room, like, call my name, like Brady Quinn back in the day, like Aaron Rodgers back in the day. If he's just looking around the green, he's all alone in the green room. Brian Wright, at that point, package some picks. Move back in.
Poke him with the stick. Do something.
That guy's supposed to be a top 5 talent. I know he's damaged goods because of his
but if he
ACL.
falls, if he's going to fall below 20, 28,
he's not going to go he's not going to go in the second round.
No, but I'm saying if he's already like at 20 or something, it's like make a move, make it happen.
Safe Space comes out to us. Welcome to the show, by the way. This is the first time I've seen your name out here. It's the 1027 because he's a few inches taller than Sohan. Yeah, and I like to say like Sohan, but his 6'7" without shoes doesn't have a great wingspan, short arms from what I can see, and he needs to convert to a 3.
It's a work in progress.
Saloon is a work in progress. That is most definitely it. Now, the one name that I'm fascinated by, Joe, and I know that you are as well, is Zach Edey, the center out of Purdue. 7'4", 300 pounds. I've seen mock drafts say that he's going to go number 7 overall, all the way down to number 25 overall. In fact, Vegas has this as one of their most fun bets of the night because they have the over-under at 15.5. Joe, is somebody going to take him at 15 or below, or is someone going to take him after 16? Because that's the bet right now.
Yeah, according to
betus.com.
I don't know, man. That one's a tough one, dude. You just never know what's going to happen in this draft,
Dude, Zach Edey, it's kind of weird how to pinpoint who he is, man.
He's just not very he's not quick. He's as far as being able to run the floor, on a break and stuff like that. But what he does gives you that presence inside the paint. And that's where he can flourish. And that's possibly where he can ink out an NBA career for himself. But the thing is, you have good and you have bad with Zach Edey. To me, he's a big gamble. I don't know. I mean, unless you absolutely need a big, on your team, you go ahead and pull that trigger because he possibly could be the best available player at that position. Yeah.
I mean, 7'4". You can't teach height.
No.
You can't. He's 7'4".
And he's great in the paint.
But the thing is, he would have been great in the 90s.
Yeah.
He would have been great in the 80s.
Banging bodies.
Yeah,
but
now when you have 3-point shooters who are centers like Karl Anthony Towns,
Porzingis.
He ain't going to be able to defend them all the way to the 3-point line. They're just going to blow right by him.
He can't shoot, man.
Now I'm looking at BetMGM's website right now on the picks who they believe the Spurs are going to take at number 8 overall. Saloon at 5-1 odds currently. Nikola Topic at 6-1. Ron Holland at 7-1. Devin Carter. his numbers have been all over the place. It's been as high as 2.5 to 1 to now 7.5 to 1, and it's bouncing back and forth. But again, you can bet on this.
Look at Hanover Fist. He says, so is Castle really a point guard, or is it just hype?
Castle is a combo guard who wants to play point guard. Castle is basically Derek White. As far as he's a shooting guard who can actually have handles, and if you need him to play the point, you can. But he says he wants to play the point. Now, the number 8 pick overall over the last 10 years, Jarris Walker, Dyson Daniels, Franz Wagner, Obi Toppin, Jackson Hayes, Colin Sexton, Frank Ntilikina, Marquise Chris, Stanley Johnson, and Nick Stauskas. It has been a half and half. I mean, Franz Wagner was a great pick. Colin Sexton was a good pick. Obi Toppin is okay. But it's been a little bit weird, man. Been a little bit weird, but the Spurs, you can bet on this now.
Look at Vane Stain. He says, Wemby will drop 80 at every ISO position, Oh, and look at Gert Vandergit Krift. Hey, what's up, Gert? From the Netherlands. He says, if you guys arrange plane tickets, he's in for the watch party.
The watch party. That's funny.
Hey, and congratulations to him, because he's almost lost 100 pounds already.
That's
dude.
Amazing.
He's been on it, dude. So congrats to you, Gert.
That's amazing. Again, the NBA draft is tomorrow night, 7 p.m. The party begins at Pete's Place in Old Town Helotes at 6 p.m. Just head out to the big screen outside. That's where we are. And again, I say outside, there's also an indoors portion.
Indoor,
of Pete's
outdoors.
Place. So it's one of those things where get a little bit heated up, a little too hot for you, go inside, hang out in the AC.
You know who's going to show up tomorrow?
Who's that?
Your son, Sith Elias. He's going to be there with his
baby.
Going to be there with his wife, he says. So it'd be nice to see him. Man.
Very nice, very nice. We've already counted 16 RSVPs as of this morning. Again, we're 931 subscribers strong. It'd be nice to pick up another 10 or 15 while we're out there. That'd be amazing. But again, the draft is tomorrow. I'm excited. I'm already in my head saying we're going to have either Reed Shepherd or Stephon Castle on this team. At 4, at 8, I can see 4 or 5 different players. I mean,
I want the Spurs to get better, but then I don't, because I'm looking at the 25 NBA draft. So I'm like, get better, but not that much better.
Normally we would go and talk more sports, but we need to not bury the lead, man. We got to talk about Hooters.
Oh, God.
What is going on with Hooters right now? Because I was on mysa.com this morning, and here's the article right here. Hooters closes multiple Texas restaurants, but San Antonio remains safe. I'm going to say ... as of now.
Yeah, just keep that 151 location open.
The one right here by your house. So it said on Monday, June 24th, which was yesterday, that 6 locations in Texas, from Lubbock to Bryan, Seabrook, San Angelo, and McAllen, all shut down without warning. These hot women showed up to go to work and found out that they didn't have a job.
Did they have the notice on the front door? There you go.
Basically,
been shut down.
It's kind of like the movie Major League when they had the pink slip,
waiting for you when you open your locker.
What does this mean? So, is this the beginning of the end for the restaurant? Because Hooters, again, is the original, man. Hooters is the one. I remember going to Hooters in the 90s.
Yeah.
And it was kind of taboo. No one's naked there. I mean, dude, Hooters compared to like Twin Peaks on lingerie night, especially in February for Valentine's Day.
Oh, I can attest. I was there last Friday.
When the Christmas girls, I mean, half the time they're wearing their brown shorts with their checkered top, right? But there are certain nights out of the year.
Oh, back to school night, man. That was a nice one. That's the schoolgirl outfit.
Yeah, where they are wearing just lingerie upon. I mean, they make
bourbon and brews.
They make the strippers blush. Hooters girls are in just orange booty shorts, pantyhose, white shoes, and they've got like a tank top.
Yeah.
In comparison to Twin Peaks, I mean, they're pretty classy at that point, right? But
remember Hooters back in the day when we grew up, right?
Yeah.
I think it was in the late 80s, early 90s. They used to sponsor the late night movie. Remember, they had the Hooters girls that used to come out. I think it was on Fox 29, actually. Channel 29. They used to have like late night movies, and it was sponsored by Hooters. And it's like they were talking with the Hooters girls, and they brought the best of the best out to talk about the movie and this and that. It was all in good fun, man. But I remember that specifically, and that was back in the late 80s.
But I remember with my friends, man, high school, class of 95 homes, we would all start driving, right? So we all started driving around 16 or 17. So I'm about 16 or 17 years old, and we're like, hi, table for 8. hide our face a little bit, hide our face a little bit because, we're a little bit jealous of it all.
Yeah.
Not jealous. We're a little bit shy.
Gotcha.
Because we got a girl with knockers who's going to come by and say hi and take our order, We're going to be like, I'll take a 10-piece mild, please, But this would be sad. This would make me cry. The 151 Hooters location makes me cry on its own. It feels like an airport location.
Oh, no, man. That one, the one on 151, compared to the one on Fredericksburg, the one on 151, like over the course of like a month or two, man, they just loaded up with talent, bro. Loaded with talent.
Dude, and it's beyond just the Hooters waitresses, dude. Birthday parties have been held there. I got this photo of this guy's 21st birthday over there. Look at his face. Look at his face. Look at his face. He's excited. The girls come over to say happy birthday. They come by. They bring the lava cake, the beer with the ice in it somehow or another. They have like an ice pack in there. That's where Twin Peaks gets them, man. The 29-degree beer. That's where they do it. But the number of birthday parties that have been had at a Hooters location, I've had so much fun. I've even stayed at a Hooters hotel in Vegas, for crying out loud, which is now the Ojos Locos Casino. Okay, so why are these going under? Chain restaurants are just going under because people are in their 20s and 30s don't care for them.
Yeah, they don't care for it no more.
You go to a Hooters, you go to Twin Peaks, we're all 45 and older.
You know what's going to happen probably within the next 10 to 15 years? A lot of these restaurants or these national chains, we're going to wind up going out of business because nowadays the younger generation, they're just fine going to the little mom and pop places.
They want experiences. They don't want to have.
Yeah.
They don't want Chili's.
They don't want
Cheesecake Factory. It's old people.
Yeah, it's
middle-aged people who are
it's
keeping
the
this
unique
place
experience for them. And not only that, but a lot of them now don't even like going out to eat. What do you see a lot of?
Uber Eats,
Uber Eats, all these DoorDash, people driving, giving them food. They don't even want to go anywhere. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing because really at the end of the day, if you're busy at home, you're doing yard work, you're doing stuff around the house, and you've already been driving around everywhere and you're tired, you're with your girl, you're going to watch a movie. Last thing you want to do is go out and get something to eat. Just have it come to you. It's so convenient.
Morvey reaches out to us on our YouTube stream saying bikinis in Austin in the 2010s.
Oh, I remember bikinis.
There was a bikinis here in San Antonio.
Short-lived.
On Fredericksburg Road.
Short-lived.
We used to call it bikinis.
And then after bikinis, I think it became something else called quickie.
Yeah.
And their saying was funny on the side of the building. Everyone needs a quickie.
By the way, so the reason why Hooters is shutting down the quote-unquote underperforming locations is because they say market forces and they're underperforming, right?
That's the spew they give you.
We saw Red Lobster. Red Lobster, what ended up happening with Red Lobster was they got bought out by a venture capitalist group. Whenever you see a VC group go in there, they're there to pick it for parts, man. It's basically pick and pull.
Yeah.
And what they did was, if you ever seen the movie The Founder, have you seen the movie, Joe? I've mentioned it before.
Seen that.
It's with Michael Keaton about McDonald's. And it was talking about how McDonald's makes money. And it was saying that McDonald's, you're in the wrong business if you think McDonald's is in the business of making burgers, that you're really in the business of real estate, because McDonald's owns all the land upon which the burger is built. And the same thing goes for Red Lobster. Red Lobster owned all the land. Well, think about it this way, Joe. If you bought a house in 1980 for $75K, $100K,
yeah,
how much can you sell it for it now?
Gee, at least double, if not triple that.
Right. Now, what if someone was to sell it to somebody else and then they were to rent it out? It's still going to be double or triple that.
Oh,
right?
Yeah, but it's over the course of how many years do you own that home?
Right.
So
imagine having a house at $75,000, $100,000, and you're paying, even if it's a higher interest rate, you're paying $1,000 a month on.
Yeah.
You hold on to it for 20, 30 years. The value appreciates to $300,000. And now the house, if you were to sell it, someone else is having to pay $3,000 a month for what you were selling, what you were buying it for $1,000 a month for back in the day.
Yeah, if you do the math, what was it, like $1,200 or $1,500 a month in rent over the course of, I think, was it 10 or 12 years?
Yeah,
it amounts to around $90,000.
So what Red Lobster did was they sold their property to a subsidiary,
yeah,
who then rented it out in 2023, 2024 prices to the existing Red Lobster locations.
Jeez.
Tanking them. Wasn't because of all you can eat shrimp, although that was a bad
move.
It was because they sold it for parts. It was they basically stole the land. They bought the property. They bought Red Lobster not to make Red Lobster better. They bought it to own the land. And then they said, okay, we're going to have that land sold to a subsidiary. We're going to rake in this profit. Red Lobster, feel free to pay today's rates now, even though this location's been at 410 in Callahan since 1980.
Yeah.
You're not paying 1980s prices anymore. You're going to be paying 2024 prices. Oh, you can't afford it? Great. We'll find somebody who can.
Yeah.
That's what happened to Red Lobster. So if you ever hear, oh, well, there's a venture capitalist group that's going to go in there and help out Hooters, they're not. They're going to shut it down.
The same thing happened with that Eat at Joe's. Remember that short-lived chain? You know, there was one right here out off of 410.
Mm-hmm.
That shut down. Now it's another restaurant, but it's sat vacant for so many years, and now finally they reopened it again.
I'm still waiting for something to happen at Malibu Castle because it's still
there's
vacant.
nothing there, dude.
Well, I mean,
it's just the racetrack. That's it. You could barely make it out. You know, when they show on KSAT 12, when they're showing the weather report, they kind of pan out, you know, from the camera way up high where it's perched up, and you can still see the outline,
the carcass.
The carcass of the racetrack. I'm like, somebody do something with that.
So
man.
Going back to Hooters, do you believe the tall tale that I dated Hooters girl?
Oh God, here we go. You've told me this numerous times. I remember I asked Sean too when we went to lunch. I'm like, did he really date a Hooters girl? And he's like, that's what he says.
That's what he says. To quote All American Rejects, I'll keep you my dirty little secret.
Yeah.
Anyway, very cool. Let's talk more sports because the LA Lakers introduced their new head coach yesterday, JJ Redick, fresh off a podcast. I mean, think about it, Joe. Isn't that the equivalent? No, it's not, because he played 15 years in the NBA, but that'd be like me going from here to taking Brian Wright's job, for crying out loud. But
no experience.
JJ Redick with no experience goes on in. And that podcast with LeBron James, for all intents and purposes, was the interview. And I saw this stat earlier today saying that JJ Redick is the fourth player that LeBron has played against who became his coach. God. Think about Tim Duncan having Popovich for his entire career. Think about Jordan having mostly Phil Jackson for his career. Think about that, right? I mean, he had other coaches along the way, but primarily was Phil Jackson in his heyday, right? Magic having Pat Riley for most of his career. LeBron's going from former opponent to former opponent to former opponent to former opponent as his head coach. Find that to be interesting. So yesterday, JJ Redick got introduced to the media, and the first time he's out there talking to people, he decides to just go ahead and drop an F-bomb on everybody. And it wasn't even that big of a question that he was asked. He was asked a question by a female reporter. Very simple question. Are you looking forward to dispelling certain misconceptions as head coach? Let's see if this is it right here, real fast. See if we can hear it.
Let's see.
I got it right here.
I've certainly heard everything.
About
So
this. What misconceptions or concerns about you?
Man, it's
in the
low.
last few weeks.
It is low.
Most looking forward to dispelling.
Let's see if I can. Okay, well, first of all, we'll just go through it. They asked the question, what misconceptions are you looking forward to eliminating as head coach of the Lakers? And he goes, dude, I've heard everything. I heard about how I don't deserve this job. I heard about the fact that I am a podcaster, that I have no experience and all that stuff. And he goes, at the end of the day, to answer your question, I don't give an F. Now, that might be a good message to the team. But for a fan base here, imagine if the Spurs hired Mitch Johnson to be head coach of the Spurs to succeed Greg Popovich. And someone was to interview, let's say that Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs and Ken's Five, this hypothetical, goes out there and says, Mitch, welcome to the team. You're replacing Pop. You have a superstar here in Victor Wembanyama. You have been an assistant coach, but don't have any head coaching experience. A lot of people think that, you might be inexperienced for this particular position. What are your thoughts on that? And what if Mitch Johnson looked into the audience and said a couple of sentences and then says, but at the end of the day, I don't give an F.
Not a good look, man.
It isn't. Why does JJ Redick get a pass for this?
I don't know, man. To me, he's always come off as kind of a dick, the way that he talks and the way that he is. He's very blunt, very straightforward. Cool. That's your personality. No big deal, but at the end of the day, if you're getting a little bit perturbed about a reporter asking you this question, you better be ready, because guess what's going to happen all season? You're going to be asked that question time and time again, and it's going to be more embarrassing for him, because what if the Lakers come out the gate on a losing streak?
Fernandez comes out and says that he likes JJ's moxie. Sam Slynn is asking the question, what's wrong with that? Well, the thing is that if he's throwing F-bombs right now, and you can tell he's irritated,
get ready.
You haven't even lost a game yet. As Joe alluded to right now, what if they start off with a 10-game losing streak?
What happens in LA? It's one of the biggest media markets.
What if LeBron forces his way out? He hasn't even felt pressure yet. And that's his attitude towards it all?
I highly doubt JJ Redick is going to last the season.
JJ Redick, I think, is a brilliant mind, by the way. It's weird because I listen to his podcast and the way that he analyzes certain things.
Yeah.
He had a podcast the other day with LeBron. I say the other day, it's probably about a month or two ago.
Oh, his interview?
Yeah. And he was talking about the Gortat screen.
Yeah.
And how it was the most unstoppable thing in the world. And to hear him talk about the Gortat screen, I'm gonna look it up real fast. The Gortat screen, LeBron James talking about it. This was on the Gortat screen. They're talking about this on the JJ Redick show.
This is you against the Milwaukee Bucks.
Oh, can we hear this?
Yeah.
In 2020. In March of 2020.
Oh, I already know what it is without even watching it.
What happens on this play?
The fucking Gortat screen.
The Gortat screen.
The effing Gortat screen.
Gortat screen is the most unstoppable
It's wild.
play. Like you said, if you can time it right, it can't be stopped.
It can't be stopped. Okay, so I'm going to stop it there
Okay.
because it's a little bit low here. So they're talking about what's called the Gortat screen. And this is why I think JJ Redick might actually succeed, is because he can have a high-level conversation with a LeBron James and bring up an obscure type of play. And for him to say, back in March of 2020, you did this, and LeBron to go, I remember that game, this particular screen happened. What the Gortat screen is, so Marcin Gortat had a decent NBA career, right? But you know how you have like the Euro step by Manu, you have the teardrop by Tony, the bank shot by Duncan. You have certain moves that certain players make, and it becomes their own. What Gortat would do is he would set a screen up top, and then he would roll towards the basket, and in rolling towards the basket, he would then pretend that he was blocking out. He'd pretend that he was blocking out, but he wasn't blocking out. What he was doing was an illegal screen.
Moving screen.
He was doing an illegal screen. So I'm going to play this play back again real fast. Look at Gortat's screen and look what he does.
Oh, I already know what it is.
Does the screen.
What happens on this play?
The fucking Gortat screen.
The Gortat screen.
Do you see what he's doing there?
Fucking
I'm going to do that one more time. He says this is an unstoppable play and that the refs can't catch it in time. Set the screen, run down, and then pretend like you're blocking out. For JJ Redick to have conversations with people about this and go, this is how it works. Look at that right there. He goes, right, let the opponent ride your back. Stop, and then go. Don't just go towards the basket. Get in front of your guy and let him ride your back. This is how Luka does it. And he goes, and at that point, your opponent's toast. Watching this podcast by JJ Redick made me a believer in him. I think brains-wise, he's got the tools. I'm just wondering if personality-wise, having to meet with the media, the pressure of the Los Angeles market, the pressure of a 5-game losing streak, the pressure of a 10-game losing streak, I wonder if he's got it then. But I tell you what, though, let me ask you this, Joe. I'm not trying to shots fired at Popovich here. If you're a free agent, and let's just say that big market, small market didn't matter.
Yeah.
Would you rather have this conversation with JJ Redick? Would you rather have with Pop?
That's a tough question, man.
This is all about identifying with players. That's why you saw Joe Mazzulla
Yeah.
at 35
You see,
win the title.
The thing is that Coach Pop is beloved because of his accolades, you
Right.
know, and everybody appreciates what he was able to accomplish at the time. But now his views and his style are kind of dated, man.
It is. LeBron, this question right here that was brought up, the D-Lo, talking about JJ Redick saying that he's been part of the media and he hates the media. He has mentioned several times how they're making him talk about stupid things or making him hunt out for contact sound bites. Well, that's part of the game because the media is what brings people to watch the game. There's a reason why this podcast exists. Is because we're all sports fans. We're all pop culture fans, right?
Yeah.
So JJ Redick going out there and saying that I don't want to do that. Well, tough crap. That's your job. That is your job. And I like JJ Redick as a person. Now, here's why I think it's a little bit different. I think LeBron James respects JJ Redick. I don't think LeBron James respected Ty Lue.
Nah, man.
I don't think he respected any of those guys. But JJ Redick was a 40% three-point shooter. 40% three-point shooter.
Pretty damn good.
Played 15 years and had a like what average like 15 points per game for his career.
Yeah, look at this. Midtown Texas. Pop would suggest a classic Marbach screen.
No, he'd be like, what we got to do is we got to set a screen like 5 passes before we shoot the ball like Hoosiers is what it would be.
No, my favorite thing that Coach Pop likes to do, because the team has been tanking, is he's like, well, I'm going to let them figure it out. They have an opportunity to win the game. They got their ball, the ball on the sidelines. They just got to inbound it to the right person.
Yeah.
And Coach Pop just lets the play unfold, and it's a turnover. Oh, darn, you almost had this one, guys.
LeBron James's head coaches over the years: Paul Silas, his first 3 seasons; Mike Brown; Eric Spoelstra. I believe that he respected Spoelstra, by the way. David Blatt, Ty Lue, Luke Walton, Frank Vogel, Darvin Ham. Again, 4 out of the 5 he's played against in basketball, right? Now you have JJ Redick. He didn't respect any of those guys. He respected Spoelstra.
Spose. How can you not? Spose is like one of the best coaches in the NBA.
And when it's all said and done with his career, he'll be in the Hall of Fame.
He might have more wins at Pop.
He could. He's actually on track if he decides to coach till 70.
He's still young.
He is. Hot ex-wife too.
Yeah. Well, like I said, what does that saying say? No matter how hot she is, somebody somewhere is tired of her shit.
But I truly believe that LeBron respects JJ Redick.
Yeah.
He did do a podcast with Ty Lue. He didn't become friends with him.
No. I doubt they like each other, man.
I think it's gonna work some way, somehow. I don't think they're gonna win championships, but I don't think JJ is gonna wet the bed. I think JJ will do a decent job. But I just had issues with him. You know, he didn't attack the reporter.
He's just annoyed.
He was annoyed by a question that we were all thinking.
Yeah, and they're going to keep asking him. He thinks that's tough. Wait till they have, let's say, back-to-back losses under his regime.
Yeah.
And he has to answer, why is this team losing with the talent that you have here? With LeBron,
He's
with AD.
be like, well, who are you to tell me that?
Do you know basketball?
Oh, dude. Okay, so I saw, and it's one of our listeners, by the way. So if you're listening, dude, when he asked, someone was going at him on a sports take, and he goes, well, how many shots have you knocked down? And how many? Goes, oh, it's because someone was defending Sohan. It wasn't to me, it was somebody else. And I was like, dude, that's the lamest take, dude. How many have you? So we're only going to listen to sports athletes about things. That's stupid. This is all about being fans. You know, do you know how much credibility I have? None.
Yep.
Rudy J said it best back in the day. Rudy
We give
J
opinions.
We are entertainers.
Yeah, we give opinions.
We are entertainers.
Yeah.
Okay. First and foremost, we're entertainers who are sports fans. We are no different than the guy that you see at Slackers or at the Rue Pub or at Pete's Place talking sports. We're those guys. Okay. And there's a reason why I don't go into locker rooms very often, though I have from time to time.
You want to get yelled at?
Well, no, it's just I want to be a fan. It's more fun to be a fan than it is to be a member of the media.
Man, you know how much time you have to invest if you're a member of the media? You're not just watching the game, you're dissecting the game, and then you're trying to formulate questions for afterwards. Then you got to wait and, bide your time, to talk with the coaches, talk with the players.
Yeah.
Then after that, what do? They usually want some type of a write-up or something. You got to get the story out to the news outlet. I mean, can you imagine the time that you spent doing that whole spew? That's a lot of time and energy, man. So look at this question that we have. Puro Pinche Sports. JJ Redick is going to have to conform to being a real head coach and not just a locker room guy. This is his kid's 8-year-old team. It's not his kid's an 8-year-old team anymore, is what they're saying.
Yeah, so he was coaching 8-year-olds
Yeah.
about 6 months ago, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, he now has a job. He now has a job, and part of the job is being part of the community. Part of the job is front office responsibility. Part of the job is being in front of the media and giving media interviews. It's part of the job. You can't just say, I just want to be a head coach, or I just want to be a player.
You know, I think Sam Salinas says it best here. It's JJ's pretentious tone that's annoying, and that the actual sports insight is secondary.
Are you sure that Sam say that about JJ or about me?
No. I think he's talking about JJ, but that's JJ's demeanor, you know?
Yeah.
He always feels like, I'm better than you. I know more than you. You know, I'm so much better than everybody.
Well, he went to Duke, and isn't that the whole Duke thing? Tim Gonzalez, I apologize for saying that because I know you're a Duke fan, but when I go to North Carolina, which is where Duke is from,
they hate it there.
Duke and UNC are separated by 8 miles.
Yeah.
Right? 8 miles. Nobody there cheers for Duke. You know why? Because everybody at Duke is pretentious. And JJ Redick is part of it.
What did they say? All the people that go to Duke, they're not from there.
Right. No one's from there.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I'm not going to show highlights of this, but I did watch the Texas A&M game.
Okay.
The only thing I got out of that game was that everybody has a mustache for Texas A&M. It annoyed me, man. Like 80% of the players had not like beards, goatee. They all had mustaches, and because of that, I was cheering against them. A&M lost game 3, which was the deciding game in the College World Series. They lost 6-5 to Tennessee. They got a few runs in the 9th inning to make it close, but one of the Aggie players struck out to end the game. Tennessee got out to a lead early on. 4th pitch of the game, cranked a home run over left field. The leadoff hitter did anyway.
Ouch.
My friends were making fun of the left fielder for A&M because it felt and looked like he didn't really give a crap out there. Okay. Dude, the ball would be hit to him. He was just like slowly walking to it.
Jeez.
He ran at a speed level that was like 3.0 on the treadmill.
Yeah.
He had no energy out there, but A&M lost 6-5 yesterday. And then was it the Florida Panthers? Is that who won the Stanley Cup? They beat Edmonton in 7. Florida won the first 3 games, lost the next 3, won yesterday. I believe it was 2-1. Who cares? It's hockey. Although it was fun to watch if you're watching it, dude. If you're watching it in a bar, I just can't get into it, dude. Jason Minix at San Antonio Sports will spend all day in the world waxing poetic about it, but it's just hockey, dude. It is just hockey.
So we're going to start a little game right now. Remember, I promised that we're going to play a little game here with our listeners, man, and this is what we're going to wind up doing. I'm going to put this in the chat, and let's see if it comes through. So I just went ahead and put that in the chat. So we have a capability right now called the Magic 8 Ball, and we're going to see if this will work.
We doing lines?
No. The Magic 8 Ball is not about that. What it is that you can ask the chat a question now. So this is the command you got to use. You just put the exclamation 8 Ball, and then you just ask a question, hit enter, and let's see if it answers your question. So if anybody wants to go ahead and give it a roll, go ahead and do it.
So are we gonna spin this thing?
Yeah, I'm just saying that's all you got to do. It says the 8 Ball is Mike Zesty. And it says JHNSB. The 8 Ball says for sure.
Oh, wait. So you get to ask it a question.
You ask it a question. You just go ahead and put in the command in the beginning. You just type in the exclamation, and then you put 8 Ball, and then you ask it a question.
Okay. Interesting. I don't want to know what it's going to be asking because it sounds like it's going to be all negative towards me. Don't forget, again, tomorrow we have the Spurs viewing party, the draft party over at Pete's Place in Old Town Helotes. Joe and I will get there at 6 o'clock. Draft starts at 7. Let's get some entertainment news going on.
Yeah, we're going to do the entertainment bump.
Let's do it.
All right, here we go. I got to find it first. There we are.
We have a musical death to report. If you want to go to my screen here, according to TMZ, Shifty Shell Shock, singer, frontman for the band Crazy Town, has passed away at the age of 49. Now, do you remember Crazy Town at all?
I remember Crazy Town from way back when.
Come, my baby, come,
Yeah,
my baby.
That song was like
Butterfly
all
sugar,
over the
baby.
place. You couldn't go to a club without playing that.
Okay, that is ranked as one of the worst songs of all time.
Oh, it is, dude. It's so annoying.
Okay, so when you go to this list of the worst rock songs of all time, Shifty Shell Shock's
Oh, it's up
Butterfly.
there. Yeah.
Butterfly is up there.
It's not even a good song.
Yeah. Well, I like the music though.
It's a good beat, but it's just not a good song.
Yeah, it's like just take that beat. I want a rapper to take that beat and make something better out of it.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
But I feel bad. Again, he passed away Monday at his home in L.A.
Rip, rest in peace, brother.
Investigation is underway to determine cause of the death. Crazy Town was formed back in 1999. Had that hit back in 2001. Now, let me ask you this, Joe. What are some of the worst rock songs out there, or songs that you come out with and you think to yourself, I cannot listen to this crap? Because I'll give you some examples of mine. Starship, No One's Gonna Stop Us Now. I hate that song. If I hear it, I want to just drive into a railing.
Did they play that in the
hit a
movie
tree.
Mannequin?
Mannequin.
Isn't
Wow.
Mannequin such a great comedy from the 80s, dude?
First
That's
of all,
a pretty funny
First
movie.
of all, I did watch that movie back in the day. It's Kim Cattrall, right?
Dude, she was smoking
Who was
hot,
the
bro.
dude?
I don't remember. He was part of the Brat Pack. Remember?
Was it
forgot his name.
Was it Andrew McCarthy?
Yeah, I think it was. He was part of the Brat Pack.
That was a good movie.
That was a
dude.
good movie.
But you know what? Wasn't it a take on Twilight Zone? Because there's that episode of the Twilight Zone where
The Mannequin.
the mannequins come to life, and when someone looks at it, they're not.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Mannequin, Kim Cattrall had that run in the 80s, man. From Porky's to, dude, she went from Porky's to Mannequin all the way to Sex and the City.
Yeah. You know the best character out of that whole bit, that movie? It was Hollywood Montrose, dude. He
Dude,
was
I
freaking
forgot.
hilarious,
You're
bro.
bringing this out, dude. It was Andrew McCarthy in there, dude.
That is a classic 80s movie right there. It's so funny, dude.
Okay, Weekend at Bernie's.
Oh, that's so stupid.
Good
man.
movie or bad movie?
It's such a bad movie. It's good. The premise for the whole movie is dumb as hell, dude. How are you going to be walking around with a dead body?
Who's not like decomposing, right?
Yeah, at all. He's been baking in the sun and everything. I'm like,
I didn't
on.
realize I liked so many Andrew McCarthy movies.
he was a great comedic performer, great comedic actor.
He was on the TV show Royal Pains for a season.
Oh, you
on
love that
USA.
show.
That
You
was
love
a
that
great
one.
show. And I was like, man, that guy looks familiar.
Yeah.
Well, it's a 60-year-old Andrew McCarthy.
Man, they're going crazy with the 8-ball now, dude.
Instead of them paying attention to the show,
They're asking questions about Mike.
hey, how about this? Ask the question on this on the 8-ball. Should I send a super chat or buy a coffee to Mike and Joe? Again, you can help the show grow, help us with equipment and whatnot.
Yeah. Give us some love, man. Give us some love. You like what we're doing? Give us some love.
Mhm.
Hit that like button. We're trying to go ahead and make things a little bit more interactive for you guys and a little bit more fun.
Dude, we picked up 15 subscribers since Friday. 15.
Look at that, Sam Salinas. He's talking about Weekend at Bernie's. He said the second one is so bad it makes the first one good. That second movie was so bad I couldn't watch.
Do you know what I saw the other day on TikTok? Do you know the name Michael Winslow?
Oh yeah.
He plays one of the main characters. What's his name on Police Academy? Michael Winslow on Police Academy. See, Michael Winslow, Police Academy. He played. What was his name? Well, his name was Larvell Jones. Anyway, I saw this whole thing on TikTok about how he can do heavy metal sounds. He could sound like a helicopter, like a police siren. He can sound like all these things.
Oh, the sounds guy. That's
the
what
sounds guy,
they're
Michael
saying.
Winslow. Yeah.
He used to do a lot of voiceovers, a lot of sound effects. You know, he was the funny guy that was in the car doing all the sound effects, even the water droplet, you know, the way it sounded and all that kind of stuff. The siren.
He played Larvell Jones in Police Academy.
I don't think he's alive anymore.
No,
I think he passed away,
is.
didn't he?
He's 65 years old. He's still doing stand-up comedy. He's still doing voiceovers. But I saw
it's Hightower that passed. I think.
Oh, did Hightower die?
Yeah, I think he died, dude.
I love that movie, dude. The Police Academy movies, mad respect for them. You know, Harris was from San Marcos.
Really?
He was a professor at Texas State.
Police Academy movies were pretty funny, dude.
They were great, man. And you know, again, these are movies that you cannot make.
Oh yeah,
again.
no, not a chance. Dude.
I mean,
not
dude,
a chance.
The fact that the end of the first Police Academy ends with a BJ scene from the hooker to Mahoney, because he had done that to the commandant earlier in the movie. That was great. It was the same hooker. How did the commandant get the same hooker? That's what I want to know. Move it. Tackleberry was great.
Yeah, he was great. You know,
hooks with the "Don't move, dirtbag."
What's that? Yeah, she was the little one.
Yeah,
the little one with that voice.
And then the Blue Oyster Bar.
Oh God, I remember that. They can't do that anymore, dude. They would get canceled so fast.
And then they slow dance towards the end.
Yeah, they get canceled so quick for that. The other one that was funny too, in the reins of keeping it with comedy and going with the police theme, the Naked Gun, dude.
Oh,
so good. Dude.
Okay, the best part of the Naked Gun, by the way, and I remember showing it to my daughter.
She probably thought it was funny.
She thought it was hilarious. Gabby loves anything that I show her, right?
Yeah.
Movies, music, whatever. And she liked this one actor in not Police Academy. Yeah, in
Naked
Gun. And then she goes, "Dad, that was O.J. Simpson?" I was like,
she didn't know.
I was like, dude, OJ was so good in there, man.
He was good at comedy, dude.
Yeah, the very beginning scene when he gets shot and he's like not only getting hurt from the bullets, but he's also putting his hand on a stove and he steps into a bear trap and all that.
It's ridiculous, man. Ridiculous. Oh, Spaceballs. Now we're getting off the rails here.
Yeah,
man.
we're getting off the rails.
He goes, he was in Spaceballs. Proctor. Naked Gun, my fave. I'm telling you, man.
And if you go back to the whole, one of my favorite lines in that movie was the big tall dude where you don't even see his face. It only goes up to his chest. And he goes, he's eating a banana and he goes, "You got a piece on your side of your mouth there." And he lifts up his arm and there's nothing. He goes, "No, the other side." And half a banana falls. Remember the fence that graffitied back?
Oh yeah. Oh God, man. The movie was so good, dude.
And you know what? It lends into later on Undercover Brother.
Oh, I remember that
was
one.
Very similar. It was almost like
really funny.
It was like a Naked Gun type of thing going on.
Yeah.
But where he had the watch that had the little bit of hot sauce in it just in case to spice it up the food.
That's such an ethnic thing because
black man's kryptonite.
No, I'm telling you, like so many, minorities, we like to spice up our food.
Yeah.
That's how we grew up eating. You have to have hot sauce, something to put in that food to spice it up, man. It's funny.
Dude, that is so crazy, dude. I'm calling up the scene from Warner Brothers 2002, Black Man's Kryptonite. Oh, let me it has to go after this thing. This is on Movie Clips, Black Man's Kryptonite. Denise Richards.
Oh, she's
hot, my goodness, dude. When she's like, "Oh, you remind me of a Theo Huxtable type of thing." Now deploying Black Man's Kryptonite. Fandango Movie Clips. Oh my God. She brought it in this movie. Wasn't she in Wild Things back in the late 90s with Nev Campbell?
Yeah, sure was.
But the interaction that she has here with, is that Eddie Griffin? That's his name?
Yeah, Eddie Griffin.
And then she looks all like the damsel in distress type of thing. Dude, it's so great, dude.
Look at Sam Salinas says Undercover Brother was fantastic.
Dude, Undercover Brother is one of those funny movies. And dude, Neil Patrick Harris was in there. He hadn't come out yet on How I Met Your Mother, right? He was like lost in obscurity after Doogie Howser, and I guess he had done Harold and Kumar's Go to White Castle.
Yeah.
What a great scene, dude. What a great scene. When she's like, you remind me of Theo Huxtable.
Oh, God, man.
Theo Huxtable kind of way.
Hey, one thing that we got to do, too, is we got to go ahead and give some love to our sponsors here. So we're going to start off with MCS General Contracting.
Yeah.
MCS General Contracting, more than 30 years of combined experience in concrete placement. They are the best in the business, honest pricing, high quality work. They get going on house foundations, driveways, concrete patio decks. If you want to extend the deck, extend the driveway. If you're a business and you need to put together a slab, a parking lot, or other concrete placement services or sidewalks, reach out to MCS General Contracting at 210-774-9155. They're confident in their skills, so give Chris Leha over at MCS General Contracting a call at 210-774-9155. And thank you for being a sponsor of this show. Yeah, man. Got to get that diamond hard concrete in your life.
I'm a client. I'm a customer myself, baby. That is what it is. By the way, if you could show my screen real fast. I'm showing myself, watching myself. This is kind of like that scene from Spaceballs where he looks back.
Picture in picture.
Let's see how long the delay is. It's about 7 seconds.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Spaceballs.
There's the turnaround right there. So very cool. Very cool.
Darth helmet.
We got to talk about Dave Grohl from the Foo Fighters. So I saw Dave Grohl and the Foo Fighters perform at Jazz Fest in New Orleans. What, about 6 weeks ago or so? Maybe 2 months ago?
Yeah, over there in, you were at that festival, the music festival.
Yeah, the Jazz Fest. Saw the Killers perform there the following week.
And then you had to go back because your daughter bought you tickets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Dave Grohl, who will forever talk nicely about Taylor Swift, has come out and said he was in a concert recently accusing Taylor Swift of not singing at her songs. So Taylor Swift, who puts on a show that has 44 songs, that's 3.5 hours long.
It's a gauntlet of a show.
And she has done this worldwide. And you can tell she's singing. I mean, she's not Jennifer Lopez. You know, she's not like these things. She's not Britney Spears with the auto-tune and all that stuff. She's a performer. She goes out there, plays the piano, plays the guitar, all that stuff. Why would Dave Grohl go after her? Like, I don't get it, because they've actually interacted before and they seem to be on friendly terms before. He tells a story about being high one time and performing with Taylor Swift in front of Paul McCartney at a party. Why do you think he went after her?
I don't think he went after her. I think it's just a joke, dude. I think he's just doing it and let you ask yourself a question. Does Dave Grohl have any new let's say albums or any new content that's going to be dropping soon? Because you want exposure and she is one of the biggest names in the world, so you know what's going to happen when you say something outlandish like this,
right?
You know,
now they have both packed the Wembley over there in London. If you can show my screen real fast. We're looking at Pat Smear, who is the guitarist for the Foo Fighters, who a day after he threw shade at her, guess what? Guess where he was at?
Over there at
at Taylor Swift concert.
Yeah.
So found that to be funny. But Dave Grohl going out there and just basically saying that if you want to call hers the Eras Tour, then we're the Errors Tour.
Look at that. Anyone who puts on a 40-plus song concert night in and night out is definitely not singing.
Sam, you know, dude, I'm sorry, dude. I 100% disagree, because I can say that Dave Grohl screaming at the top of his lungs for 3 hours because he's singing at the level that Chester Bennington sang with Linkin Park. You know, when you're singing Pretender, when you're singing All My Life and all of these songs where he's belting it out, that's more strain on your voice than it would be Taylor Swift singing Karma, right? Taylor Swift, a lot of songs, not a lot of vocal range to go with it. She's not screaming.
Yeah.
So I would say that it's probably harder for someone to sing 3 hours of Foo Fighters music. I saw him perform for 2.5 hours. He's a rock god, dude. I love both.
Yeah.
I'm a Swiftie. I'm a Foo. Love Foo Fighters. Joe, tomorrow's the big day.
It is. Tomorrow is a big day, but you know what? Before we go into tomorrow, we got to go ahead and look at where it all starts. This is it right here. It's the anniversary of the Spurs winning their first chip. You know, this happened way back in 1999, and there's the infamous Avery Johnson jumper.
Mm-hmm. Someone asked me, I think it was Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs and Ken's Five, who one time asked me, what is the greatest shot in Spurs history?
That was it.
And people want to say Memorial Day Miracle. But to be honest with you, I mean, I can understand the arguments for both.
Yeah.
But this was the first thing I thought of.
The little general.
It was a little general, 16-footer, left side, which is difficult for a left-hander.
Sealed the deal.
Knocked it down.
And that's all she wrote after that.
We talked about earlier Matas Buzelis of the G League Ignite, who's supposed to be a top 10 pick in the draft, more than likely a top 8 pick in the draft, coming out and saying, Zachary Sarche wants none of me, wants none of this.
Yeah.
Does not want to go one-on-one. I asked him in March to go one-on-one in front of teams, in front of player personnel. Didn't do it. Got 36 hours before the draft. One more ask. Go at me one-on-one. You've been dodging me the entire time.
Yeah. You know what else I was going to tell you too that happened in Spurs history on June 25th?
Tell me.
Way back, and we're on the eve of the draft night, right?
Mm-hmm.
Way back in 1997, the Spurs drafted a guy by the name of Tim Duncan.
Nice.
Yeah, man. So way back when, the Spurs went ahead and drafted Tim Duncan on this date as well. So the Spurs not only won their first chip on January the 25th in 1999, 2 years prior to that, on the 25th, 1997, they drafted the guy that helped them.
And we tanked for Duncan.
Oh, that's the conspiracy that goes out there among Spurs fans,
Oh, James Pledger and I found the news clips where Robinson was ready to play in February during the rodeo road trip, and they were like, nah, you're good. Just shut it down. By the way, can I interest you in one more final mock draft? Because this is a good one.
Let's see.
This is according to The Athletic. Okay, so The Athletic's legit, right? We like The Athletic. They're one of the 4 horsemen, right? They're the one of the 4 big ones. ESPN, The Athletic, The Ringer, USA Today. Those are the 4 big ones, right? They just posted during this show, they just posted their final mock draft. Number 1, according to The Athletic, and it just posted on the New York Times, Zachary Sarche to Atlanta. They're also proposing a trade somewhere in the first round. So I'm going to show you that in a second. Number 2, Washington Wizards taking Alex Sarr. Number 3, they believe Houston will hold on to their pick and take Reed Shepherd. Number 4, Spurs taking Stephon Castle out of UConn. So far, I think that would make the most sense. Here's the trade that they expect. The Detroit Pistons trading the number 5 to Memphis for the number 9 and a future first-round draft pick that is protected, so that the Pistons could then take, so that the Grizzlies could then take Donovan Clingan, the 7'2" center from UConn. At number 6, Dalton Connect, the 6'5" wing from Tennessee, going to Charlotte. Number 7, Cody Williams, Colorado, brother of Jalen Williams from Oklahoma City Thunder. I haven't seen this yet, Joe. Number 8, who do you think? Saloon?
I think it is Saloon.
Dillingham?
No,
Saloon?
I think Saloon.
Do you know who hadn't been picked yet?
Who?
Buzelis.
You think so?
Let's see. Number 8, Matas Buzelis. I hadn't seen it. I wouldn't
be mad.
Like the guy that is saying, man, Zachary Sarche doesn't want none of me. 6'9", 6'10", goes on to say that the Spurs will be choosing from Buzelis, Devin Carter, Saloon, and Nikola Topic, and that how the Spurs really wanted Topic around that spot, but when he tore his ACL, kicked him to the curb. They have Saloon going 9 to the Memphis Grizzlies and Topic going 10 to the Jazz. I'm interested to see who they have. Bub Carrington going 12 to Oklahoma City. Ron Holland going to the Bulls at 11. Devin Carter going to the Kings at 13. Zach Edey going 14 to the Portland Trailblazers. That's who they believe is going to be the lottery. They believe Rob Dillingham 16 to the Philadelphia 76ers.
That's it. I don't know why Spurs fans are so enamored with him.
Here's the name right here. That if the Spurs are going to pick a player that out of nowhere, it's Jacoby Walter, even though they have him going 19 to Toronto. Interesting. Let's see if they have a second round.
D'Lo says he would be fine with Castle, then Connect at 8.
Spurs have at 35 going after Pacomi Dadier, a 6'8" wing, 18 years old. I have no idea what country that's from. And then they have the Spurs going for Melvin and Hinka, the 6'6" wings. So the Spurs go after a bunch of wings, according to The Athletic. Will Bronny James, according to The Athletic, be taken? They have him going number 55 to the Lakers. Although I did see a report today saying that another team, that the 76ers, might be interested in him as well.
Yeah, so I was going to do one more thing for us as well. Is we have this new thing that we just opened up, the other day. So I'm going to show you. I worked on it yesterday. So we're going to go ahead and show the website. This is our merch, the online merch store where you can buy all the merch that you guys have been asking for. So I'm going to drop the link right now in the chat. So you can go ahead and just copy and paste that or click on it, and it'll take you right to our merch store.
Okay, so where do we go for that again? Let me do it with you.
Yeah, there you go. I dropped it in the chat right now, so you can just click on the link, and it'll take you straight to the website, our online merch store, and you can see some of the designs that we have there already for purchase. I did this one yesterday as a request from Sith.
The 210?
The Wemby 210.
I like it.
And we have the Vamos Wemby shirt. We have the vintage retro one, kind of commemorating the San Antonio's World Fair when it was here. And there's the logo shirt that we have, the updated one. And we still have some nerd gear in here, a Boba Fett, and we have a Shenron the Dragon that has the Alamo City Sportscast written on it. And of course, the classic tee as well. So you can take a look at this one, with the classic logo, Alamo City Sportscast, saying that we are sports, news, and pop culture. So all the shirts are $20. You can go there and purchase them. They are available right now. So just click on the link, and there you go.
I'm on the website right now, and I'm looking, and I like the graphic that we have for Spernandez. It's him with the cups and the Fred's Fish Fry knockoff shirt.
Oh, God.
That is very cool. I need to get some of this merch, dude. I'm on the website right now. So if I go to the website, Alamo City Podcast Network, is it on the
you just click on the link inside the chat here. I went ahead and
it's only inside the chat.
Yeah, I shared it inside the chat with everybody. So it takes them to our fourth wall basic website that we have up.
How much are these teas going for?
$20 a piece, man.
What's the delivery time?
That takes about, I think it said 5 to 11 days. Once you go ahead and place your order, you're going to go ahead and get that shipment sent out to you. And everything's handled on the back end. We just put up the designs, and Fourth Wall does everything else for us, from the printing to the shipping and taking the payment and all that. I mean, it's a trade-off. We do make a couple of bucks per shirt, not much, but it's not about the profit. It's just about getting merch out there in the hands of the people.
It's the marketing.
Yep.
We got to be in front of a lot of people. I wonder if we get a discount for like multiple things, like multiple shirts being done at one time.
Yeah, they have a lot of different things we can do now. So now we can go ahead and do some discounts, which I'll look into, and we can also do giveaways. So we can actually do a giveaway here on the show and give out merch now as we're doing that.
We need to give away that Spurs Wemby rookie.
Oh yeah, the rookie card.
I think we give that away tomorrow, or because we have two actually. I've been withholding one.
Okay,
we have another one to give away. So. Sith asking, do we take Afterpay? No.
Afterpay.
You can get this shirt for $20 or for 12 payments of $1.33 a month. Look at me do that math in my head. And as I did the math in my head, is it right or wrong? Let me see. Yeah, close enough. No, it'd be $1.67. My bad. But I'm looking forward to tomorrow over at Pete's Place. It's going to be a fun time out there. I wonder what drink specials they're going to have. So that's what I'm going to do tomorrow. Is I'm going to find out exactly what the drink specials are, but you can follow them on Facebook and on Instagram as well. This is on Old Town Helotes. It's a good-looking place, dude. Good-looking place.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and show it one more time. Can you go ahead and show Pete's Place?
Yeah. Give me 1 second here.
Oh, Sith asking, do they have micheladas? I'm sure they can accommodate you with the michelada.
Oh, full bar.
Oh, one thing that we do got to do that we almost forgot to do is we got to give some love out to our boy, Jeff Garcia of Locked On Spurs. Locked On Spurs is your daily Spurs podcast hosted by Jeff Garcia, the lead Spurs writer for Ken's 5 San Antonio. Jeff has a healthy plethora of guests all the time on the Locked On Spurs podcast. You can also follow Jeff on Threads at Jeff G Ken's 5 SA. You can also follow Jeff on Twitter at Jeff G Spurs Zone. So make sure you go ahead and give Jeff a follow not only on Threads and Twitter, but also on YouTube at youtube.com
/@LockedOnSpurs. This is where you're going to be able to find the replay of the Locked On Spurs podcast. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share.
So on my screen here, I've got a video of Pete's Place. This was Wednesday night, which was a fantastic night to go over there. Lots of drink specials. Look at that screen right there. All this on top right here. These are all the drink specials they have that night for every single night. So obviously Wednesday is going to be packed up over there. I do have photos of the area that we'll be at. So there's going to be a large screen out there.
There you go.
And we have the tables in the front. So this is us over here.
Primo seating, man.
And we're looking at the drink specials from last week. Thank you to Alex Noriega for sending me this right now. Last week they had a peach sangria for $3, $4 Dulce Vita flavors, and all-day happy hour.
Nice.
All-day happy hour?
Sounds good to me.
I'll take it.
You had me at happy hour.
But again, you can go on the outside and just hang out over here. Or you can go back inside where, these people are at and hang out. But it's going to be a fun time. Again, tomorrow night, it's going to be from, we get there at 7. Bar closes at 2. They also have food there, by the way. And people were asking, is it kid-friendly? I don't think that it is because they ID everybody when you walk in the door.
Oh, okay, yeah. So
also, one other thing is that when you make an order, they will have you pay on the spot. So you can't say, oh, here's my card, and go back all night long. Every transaction every order is a new transaction. So what happens? You have college kids over there, man. They run out on tabs. It is what it is.
you got to pay your bill. Got to pay the bill.
So Sith was asking about micheladas and all. Why you got to be fancy, dude? Just get a beer.
Oh, look, man, that's what I was waiting for. So this decided to work, and this is just showing you the different shirts that we have available right now. I got to kind of fix the descriptions a little bit, but you get the gist. You can go straight to the merch shop again, and take a look at the store.
931 subscribers, dude. I'm excited about that. I asked my good friend Rudy J from In the Building, formerly of San Antonio Sports Star, to have lunch. I want to talk to him about taking it to the next level. Rudy's my guy, dude. He's my guy. And Mike Taylor is as well. Nothing but love for both of those guys and what they do out there. I was watching their show this morning. Highly recommend that you subscribe to them as well. One of the things that I'm going to do, Joe, is, and I'm already doing it, I'm keeping track of all these podcasts that are going around. Ours, In the Building, San Antonio Sports Stars page, Locked On Spurs, and I'm going to track and monitor how many subscribers they get per month. And new ones per month. I want to see where we stack up against them, because for us to go 15 subscribers in the last 72 hours, people might go, well, it's just 15 subscribers. That's like 6% growth, dude. That's a big amount of growth in a 2-week span. Maybe not 6%, but it's 1.5%.
Yeah, we've been
growth.
picking up some traffic here, man. Some subscribers here in the last month.
But once we get to 1,000, correct me if I'm wrong, but we become front page news on YouTube.
Yeah, you do. You get you get in front of more eyes on YouTube, and you also get to share in the Google AdSense revenue. It's not much, it's not much. We make more money off of super chats than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
The Google ad revenue helps, but super chats, we're consistently seeing some good traffic there.
It is. Thank you so much for everyone who watched today. Again, tomorrow is our party at Pete's Place, Old Town Helotes. We're going to have Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs and Ken's 5 tomorrow. I don't know how long he'll be on, but we'll be talking sports, pop culture, nostalgia, a bunch of draft talk as well. Let's see if we can get a second guest along the way, man. Just have a big old blowout show. And then again, Thursday, we're going to break down the draft as well. We'll know who the newest members of the Spurs are at that point. Will the Spurs make a trade? We'll figure it out.
Yeah. I think we're going to have to go ahead and at some point here, maybe do a one-off show where we kind of do something in the evening, maybe with Taylor, and kind of talk about what happened, with the Spurs picks and whatnot.
And yes, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. Can we leave with a photo of my dogs?
Sure. Are they outside?
They're inside. Well, actually, 2 of them are outside right now, but I'll bring them in by noon.
I like it when you say they're just animals.
That is a couple of days ago. That is Dunkaroo. That's Duncan. That is Cody. That is Daisy. and they are indoor dogs with me because I go to work. I work from home mostly. Speaking of which, I'm probably going to ask my company, the company that I work through,
Yeah.
to be a sponsor of the show as well in some capacity, because I take time off out of my day
Yeah.
to do this show. So if we can go full screen here, or not full
Yeah.
screen, to screen. I take part of my day off for this, and not only do I need subscribers, but I need clients as well.
Yeah.
And so I'll let you guys know I do investments, I do insurances, and stuff like that. In order for me to maintain this podcast, not only do we need to have sponsors to keep this up and running when it comes to cameras and equipment and stuff like that, but I also need to maintain my client base, because if I fall behind at work, I can't do this show.
Yeah.
And the best thing that I have in my business is that I get a lot of referrals.
Yeah. There you go.
So, everything from investments to insurances. Have any questions, reach out to me and I will figure that out.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to putting your logo up here next to MCS.
There you go.
Locked on,
There you go. Well, fellas, everyone have a fantastic day. It is, what do they call it? Draft Day Eve.
Draft Day Eve. Yep.
We're going to party it up tomorrow, but we'll be back tomorrow for a show tomorrow at 10 a.m. See you guys tomorrow.